going on YouTube? Walter of True Gains Fitness here, and today I'm going to talk to you about the dreaded plateau. So I've been getting a lot of questions in the gym. How do you overcome a plateau? How do you get through a plateau? Well, today, hopefully I have your plateau buster and your prescription, so I want you to take it and go apply it in the gym. So here we go. A plateau is when you stall out on progress. No matter what you do, you could be doing the right exercises, eating right, nutrition-wise, and getting the adequate amount of sleep that you need every night. But for some damn reason, you just keep stalling out, right? So here we go. We've all been there, whether you're trying to lose weight, go up in weight, or either develop a new skill or max out on your bench press. We've all hit that plateau. So pretty much the first thing I want to ask you guys is, are you eating enough? How is your nutrition? Are you getting enough meals in a day? This is very important because if you're trying to bulk, let's just use this example. If you're trying to bulk, you need to be consuming the right amount of calories that you should be consuming a day. My calorie range is anywhere from 3,500, I believe. So it's actually 3,000, but I actually had 500 more for that lean muscle mass, so it's actually supposed to be around 3,500. So you need to actually check to see what your calorie intake is supposed to be a day. So if you're not getting that adequate amount of calories in your nutrition, that could be where you're stalling out. So you need to eat more calories in order to put on more weight and more muscle mass. So that could be where you guys are stalling as well. If you don't think that you're getting the adequate amount of calories in your meals, that's why there's whey protein. So if you take your whey protein, of course, I'm not saying get all of your calories from whey protein, but not only whey protein, there's some mass gainers out there if you buy any kind of mass gainers to help with your calorie intake. Because if you have a really weak appetite like I do, I have to force myself to eat sometimes. That's just the way it is. So if you have a weak appetite like me and you're not really getting the amount of calories like you should, you can also take mass gainers or your whey protein. Of course, I don't get all of my food or calories, as you can say, from whey protein. I usually get it from my meal sources as far as sweet potatoes, chicken rice, etc. So don't get all of your calories from a supplement. That's exactly what it is, a supplement, but there are mass gainers out there for that purpose. So number two, are you getting enough sleep? This one is really important. I mean, man, you could be eating right, you could be exercising right, you're doing all these things, and you're slacking on your sleep. So you need to be getting at least, I want to say at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night is the preferable time. But I usually get about maybe 6 to 7 hours of sleep, which is still reasonable, but you can also try to shoot for 8. That's what I definitely recommend, because sleep levels also, lack of sleep also increases, stress levels and less time for your body to, rebuild that muscle. So that could be where you're lacking in an area as well. So don't forget, the first one we went over was your eating. If you're not consuming enough calories on your bulk to gain lean muscle mass, to put on some weight. Also, if your sleep is not on point. If your sleep's not on point, you can just knock the other two out of the ballpark. So alright guys, so it's time to mix it up. So if you've been doing everything correctly, and of course for the first time for a beginner, let's say for example, you start seeing new gains out of nowhere for the first time you start working out, you're going to be seeing all these gains because your body's not used to it, and of course you're going to grow. Everything's going to feel awesome because you're experiencing this different physical adaptation in your body and your central nervous system. So you're going to be getting some gains. After a few months or so, you may start to slow down a little bit, and that's where you may get a little bit of you may get a little discouraged. Don't get discouraged. It's just that a step that we all hit. Maybe you need to change something up. So maybe it's the sets or the reps that you're doing in the gym that you need to go ahead and change up. For example, if you're a runner, I know I do a lot of weightlifting. I do actually half bodybuilding and half strength training. I know I do a lot of weightlifting, but some of you out there may have different goals. You might not even want to put on lean muscle mass. You may just want to get a shitload of cardio because you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu like my friend Ruben, or you may just do like a lot of 5K runs. So here's an example. If you do a lot of 5K runs and you're not seeing any benefit from that, go ahead and switch it up and try some sprints instead of just the basic runs. If you're doing deadlifts and your deadlift hasn't improved, if you're always trying to do a 1 rep max on deadlift, you need to either switch it up and don't do that 1 rep max. You need to try to do a higher volume with less weight that 1 week, or you need to train deadlift twice a week and try to do maybe 5x5 set. 1 day of the week, say you hit deadlift on Monday, you do 5 sets of 5, and then say you hit it again on Saturday, 6 sets of 3. So just try to change up those rep sets and variables. Like I said, it's also called muscle confusion to give the body enough time to adapt. Your muscles are gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? And it's gonna stimulate new growth. So that's what you definitely wanna do. You wanna mix it up every time. So if you do 4 sets of 10 on pull-ups, you need to change that shit to 10 sets of 10. What the fuck is he talking about? Is he crazy? I might be, but guess what? Your body's gonna go in a hell of a shock and you're gonna reap the fucking rewards. All right? Change it up. If you're just joining me, we're talking about how to get through and bust through a plateau. So that's what we're here to do today. So hopefully I have the prescription to prescribe so you guys can go and fill it in the gym. So I already talked about eating patterns and habits, sleeping patterns. If you're not getting enough sleep, you need to try to get some sleep. If you're eating and you're trying to bulk and gain lean muscle mass, you need to be shocking the shit out of your diet. If you're supposed to be taking in 1,800 calories, you need to be taking in 2,200 calories. If you're doing about 4 sets of 10 on pull-ups, you need to change that shit to 10 sets of 10. I already told you I was crazy, but I didn't get this body with just doing basic shit, all right? There's no such thing as overtraining. Your body will adapt. Now, this thing that I want to talk about is some people do take 1 week off fully, completely to let their batteries recharge and reheal. I don't really do that because if I take a week off of training from the gym, I'm over here feeling like, and I know some people do feel like that as well, but that's one of the reasons why I don't do that. But your body will adapt. Your body is meant for survival, and that's exactly what it'll do. So your body's gonna adapt. Also, if you have not tried pause reps, those are really good for strength. Me and Jacob do them all the time when we do our chest gauntlet. We do a lot of pause reps. So if we're doing, we always do the gauntlet, so we start off at our max and we work our way down. So if we're on our 8th set and we're supposed to push out 8 reps, we might do 4 regular reps and then 1 pause rep, and then the rest just tempo, so eccentric and then concentric. So we just gotta mix up the sets and ranges, and that'll definitely put different type of stress on your muscle, type 2 muscle fibers, so which will stimulate more growth overall. Also progressive overload, so you also need to be going to failure. Not every set, you don't wanna tax the hell out of your nervous system, but you do wanna be trying to reach that progressive overload to stimulate new growth, because if you're just doing the same exercise over and over and over and over again, of course the body adapts quickly, like I just mentioned, and it's going to be the same results. Your body's never going to get used to doing that. But if you switch it up and you do a heavier weight this time, your body's not going to want to get used to that amount of stress, so it's going to adapt and force your muscles to grow. You can also do forced reps. So let's use bench press as an example. Whenever you're doing bench press, let's say you're trying to do 8 reps, okay? So you're on bench press, let's say you're doing like 4 sets of 8 or whatever the case. Let's say on the last set, you do a heavy enough weight to reach those 8 reps. After those 8 reps, what you want to do is get a spotting partner you trust, lower the weight down eccentrically, and when you get ready to push off the concentric portion, you want to have your spotter there to help you lift up the weight. So you want to control it back down. Of course, it's going to be hard as hell, and then push off. Those are called force reps. It's going to be progressive overload. Pushing the muscle past failure is what you want to do. You want to repeat this for about 2 to 4 reps, all right? So guys, I think I covered pretty much most of what I think that my prescription for you getting through those plateaus are, just a little bit more. So also you can use supersets as well. If you don't know what a superset is where you perform 2 exercises back to back. Got them supersets going back to back. Yeah. Anyway, so you want to perform 2 supersets back to back with no rest at all, no rest in between. So you want to do, let's say if you do bench press, after you get through doing your bench press, you can go and you can start doing some push-ups, right? Those are going to be 2 supersets back to back, really taxing on the chest and those type 2 muscle fibers, all right? Which are going to be the most ones that stimulate the most growth, okay? So after that, you can also do supersets, or maybe, like I said, you need to switch up the variables. So if you're doing, if your feet are a little farther apart, maybe you need to move them in a little bit closer. If you're used to doing barbell incline bench press, maybe you need to switch it to dumbbells. If you're on the flat bench press and you're doing bench press, maybe you have your hands in, maybe you need to move them a little bit, a few inches out. Of course, on the bench press, the flat bench press, you don't want to have your arms too far out. because you don't want to have any kind of shoulder injury as well. You also don't want to have them too far in, because then you're going to be working your triceps on a close grip bench press. You just want to have them just right, medium width. All right, so make sure you check all of your grips, everything like that. Mix up your sets, your variables. So if you're used to doing 4 sets of 10, do 4 sets of 12, do 5 sets of 12, 4 sets of 20. Usually the rep range for strength is anywhere from 5 sets of 5, or you can switch it up. Like I said, 6 sets of 3. Anywhere from, for gaining muscle, is going to be in the 8 to 12 rep range, and anything past that, you get muscular endurance. For performance, you're training for performance, I believe 15 to 20 reps. Going past muscle failure. So you actually get all 3, and that's what I train. I train for bodybuilding to build lean muscle mass. I train to get strong as fuck. And I train for performance all around for muscular endurance. So you might be wondering how you can incorporate these techniques into your training regimen. And if you don't have a training regimen, I definitely would recommend that you get some. So once my website is up, I'll have all my training tips and regimens that you guys can do on my weekly split that you guys can get and download, all right? Anything from chest to shoulders to arms to back to legs, so forth and so on. So I'll definitely have that up there for you guys so you guys can use it in my split. So I think that has been the prescription for how to bust through a plateau. So like I said, we covered everything. Let's do a quick recap. We covered everything from, is your eating on point? Are you consuming enough calories? You need to be asking yourself that. Also, don't forget, do not get all of your goddamn calories from whey protein. All right? Get whole food sources. Second, are you sleeping enough? All right? Put the goddamn phone down and get off Instagram and stop tagging people and take your ass to sleep, and you might see some gains in the gym. All right? Third, I think we recapped anything if you want to switch up like your grip on bench press. Maybe you need to switch up your grip, your foot stance on squat. If you're doing deadlift for 1 rep max, maybe you need to just do a higher volume or just do deadlift twice a week. Change up your reps and sets as far as if you do 4 sets of 10 on, let's say you're doing side laterals, you do 4 sets of 10. What you need to start doing maybe is 4 sets of 12, or you need to be doing 5 sets of 10 or 5 sets of 12. Just to recap real quick, anything from 5 sets of 5 or 6 sets of 3 is for strength. Anything from the 8 to 12 rep range, you're going to be building lean muscle mass. And anything 15 to 20, I believe, is for performance. So I train for all 3. So don't forget to eat right, get in your calories, get enough sleep. You need to mix up your sets, reps, and variables. And that's it, guys. So pretty much just use this as a tool. That way it'll help you get through those plateaus. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to get at me on Instagram at TrueGainsOfficial, Twitter at TrueGainsFit, and follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, TrueGainsFitness.com. Well, not TrueGainsFitness.com. YouTube.com/TrueGainsFitness. All right. Hopefully, my website when it comes up will be TrueGainsFitness.com. But I got some big things planned for the future. You can believe that. So with that going forward, comment down below. Actually, I want you to try this first. So if you're in your regimen, the steps that I listed today for getting through a plateau, don't try all of these at once. Don't go in there trying to do all this at one time. Pick one of these steps or apply it. They're just modifications that could help you get a little bit more weight, or get max up on your bench press or deadlift, gain more muscle mass, something to help you get through that plateau that you're stuck on. So they're modifications that you need to be executing in the gym. I would definitely recommend that you take these notes, write them down, and just apply them to your everyday. Like I said, you don't have to change up your exercises, but just change up the sets, reps, and variables, and apply what I told you. Take it here and execute it in the gym. And I bet, almost guarantee, that your gains will skyrocket. This has been Walter here in True Gains Fitness. I actually have a picture posted up on the screen of what I used to look like. What I look like now. Let's go ahead and flex on them. Get a close up on that bicep. I'm tired talking about.